What's going on, my fellow Kino Lords? I hope everybody's spooky season has been going well so far. Tonight, I got another tier ranking video, and this one is timely. This is a Spooktober festive themed tier ranking. I'm going to be ranking Letterboxd's top 250 horror films. Now, huge disclaimer, just like my A24 ranking video, just like my Palme d'Or ranking video, I have not seen all these movies. Hell, I'll be lucky if I've seen half of them. And look, I got a lot of shit from my last two videos, especially the Palme d'Or one, of people being like, hey, how dare you even try to rank these movies if you haven't seen all of them? Look, I'm not going to wait till I'm 80 years old on my deathbed to rank all these movies. I love the art of filmmaking to death. That's why I chose it as my career field. But at this point in time in my adult life, there's just no way I'm going to be able to dedicate so much time to catching up and watching all these movies. I mean, I have a lot of time dedicated already to reviewing new releases, reviewing patron requests, watching all of the Discord recommendations, which, by the way, $5 a month of Patreon get you access to the Discord. We have movie nights and all kinds of fun shit. But to make it a more fun experience for everybody watching this video, I want everybody to take one film that I haven't seen that you consider to be a top priority and comment down below which one that is. And I'll put all of them in my watch list. Maybe I put it into a poll or something so you guys can vote and decide which one you want me to watch and review next. Or you could actually join as a $50 Patreon member and just directly request the movie to me, and I will watch and review it ASAP. But anyway, with that all out of the way, let's just dive right into this thing, and let's see what the top 250 on Letterboxd has to offer. All right, let's get this thing rolling. By the way, I decided to just say fuck it and just stick with the classic tier rankings. I know the last video I said I don't like doing the letter grade stuff for films. But whatever, you know what? Let's just try this thing out and let's see how it goes. Maybe it'll give people a more, satisfying experience watching with the more classical ranking system. Obviously, with S tier at the top being masterpiece level, creme de la creme Kino, and everything else, A, B, C, D, F. You know how it goes. And then the bottom we have haven't seen here, so I'll put also the haven't seen stuff down there as well. But all right, let's go ahead and start this thing. Up first, we have Alfred Hitchcock's Psycho. Now, Psycho is a movie that I have not seen in a long time, I think since film school, which had to be like 8 years ago, 7 years ago, something like that. But this is a really great movie, obviously. It's so influential, and even though it's not really a personal favorite of mine, I have to put it at A tier. I have to put it at the A. I mean, I can't put it at masterpiece because I don't personally feel that it is, but it's got to be A tier. And again, it's not really one of my personal favorites, but it's like undeniably some of the most influential horror that we've had. I mean, again, everything from the twists and turns that are in the movie, but also just Hitchcock's presentation, his eye for the camera, his use of score, the iconic shower scene, and again, that crazy twist at the end of the movie. It's just, it can't be anything lower than A tier in my opinion. And I feel like there's people out there that might even give me a dislike for not putting in the S tier, but I think A is a pretty fair spot for it. The Cabinet of Dr. Caligari. Ooh, another really classic, influential horror film. Let's put that in A tier for now. I think even doing that might give me some shit, but just still, like a really, just, again, incredibly influential German expressionist piece of cinema. Obviously, like films like this inspired, the famous works of Tim Burton and shit. Just really, really great, fantastic, influential piece of horror cinema. So yeah, let's move on. Oh, Helter Skelter. Wow, I just watched this movie a few days ago for the Discord. Yeah, honestly, I was not a huge fan of this movie. Honestly, I kind of want to put this in the D tier because I just had so many problems with it. I just thought I mean, yeah, it's supposed to be cartoony and satirical and everything, but just the dialogue in this movie I thought was really bad, and a lot of like the structure made no, like the structure was lazy. There's like this whole like detective subplot in it that's really just there to feed audience like obvious exposition and theme information. And I don't know, I really wasn't a big fan of that, but there were like montage segments that I thought like stylistically were really great and very like Kubrickian. So I don't know. I'll be a little generous and put that in the C tier for now. Maybe we'll see how it all shakes out. But I'll put Helter Skelter in the C tier. By the way, I'm supposed to be zooming through this because there's a lot to get through, and I don't want to make this like a fucking 5 hour video. Um, so let me try to work at a faster pace here. Um, what does that say? Chimera? I have not seen that movie. Take Shelter. Is that Michael Shannon? I have not seen that movie. Audition. That is A tier horror film. There's a lot of A tier so far. Again, I really love horror, and that might become obvious during this whole tier ranking process. But Audition is, I mean, it's known as being one of the most disturbing horror films ever made, and it really lives up to that reputation, and I think it does so in a way that even you knowing how fucked up it still is able to shock you and disturb you, because it just has this really like slow burn attitude and really like makes the audience wait for the spectacle of it all, and I think it's fantastic. I mean, it's a fantastic horror film, and again, I think it deserves the praise that it gets. So let's move on. Qui-Gon, I've heard so much about it, haven't seen it. Cemetery Man, haven't seen it. Um, what the hell is this? It's an Indian movie? What is that? That says Manichitra Trazu. I have never heard. That doesn't even look like a horror movie. That doesn't even look like a horror movie. But let's just move on. I put that in haven't seen. Dagra Magra, haven't seen it. Ghost of Yotsuya, haven't seen it. Taste of Fear, haven't seen it. What We Do in the Shadows. Ooh, I mean, when I watched it, I did give it a 10 out of 10. But I rewatched it for a movie night, I think, like a year ago. And I don't know if I would put it as a masterpiece right now. I think I put that in A tier. But What We Do in the Shadows is one of the, like, that is one of the funniest movies I've ever seen in my entire life. One of the best horror comedies, like mockumentary style horror comedies that I've ever seen. Just so good. I can't recommend that movie enough. Um, Ranger Ranger Stranger? Wait, no, I'm stupid. Wrangler Strangler is what it is. I've never seen that. Despite the Night, haven't seen that. Oh, Freaks. This is one I really need to see. Have not seen that. Ravenous, haven't seen that. All right, Santa Sangre. This is to me. Oh my! I really want to put this at S tier. You know, I'm putting it S tier. Fuck it. That's one of my favorite films of all time. Um, I think I have a whole review on Santa Sangre, and I think I gave it a 9, but I'm sorry. Like in my head, it just keeps getting better and better. Hodorowski is just an absolute fucking madman. And for those who haven't seen or heard of that movie, you have to watch it. I own the 7 release for it, and it is an incredible, bizarre piece of. I mean, I guess it is a horror movie. I wouldn't call it a flat out horror movie, but it definitely has a lot of horror elements in it, and is just a very like experimental, artistic, disturbing, masterful film. Moving on, Oh, the Wolf House. Damn, is that gonna be another S tier? Mm. I think I'll put the Wolf House. Damn, man. I don't want to be too generous and give it a S. You know what? S tier. Fuck it. That film is incredible. I always tell people about the Wolf House because it's such an underseen movie and so overlooked. Like I talk to people who know a lot about film and know like every film that comes out, and I say, "Hey, have you ever seen the Wolf House?" And they're like, "What the fuck is that movie?" The Wolf House prioritized it immediately. That movie, it's a stop motion animation horror movie where it was all made with life size props, and it is just incredible what those filmmakers were able to achieve. I think it took them like 6 years or something to complete. It's a crazy movie, but that movie unsettles me, unlike a lot of horror movies do. Just the vibe the whole time and the atmosphere the whole time is just completely puts me on edge. And it's just a beautiful. It's a beautiful. It's. I mean, it's a disturbing looking movie, but it is beautiful the way that they crafted it. All right, moving on. The Night Possessed Corpse. Hold on, I can't, damn it, man. Oh, this night will possess. This night will possess your corpse. I have not heard of that. Um, haven't heard of. Mandy, A tier. Mandy is an A tier horror movie. Panos Cosmatos just perfects the cosmic horror genre. Nick Cage just first half gives a beautifully subtle performance, and then just completely he gets the opportunity to just cage out in that second half, and it's just beautiful cinema, beautiful horror cinema, and Nick Cage doing what he does best at the same time. Um, so yeah, Mandy, love that film to death, A tier. Diabolique, this is a good one. I'll put that at B tier though. That one's more of like, I mean, I guess it's horror, but it's definitely like I got more like mystery, thriller, suspense vibes from it. But it is quite good and has a really great ending that I really, really dug. Angst. This is good. This is really good. I think I'm gonna put Angst at B though. I do really like Angst, but it seems like I don't like that movie as much as other people do. But Angst is still a must watch. Has a incredible psychotic performance from the lead actor. Um, I mean, proceed with caution. Again, that's one that's considered to be like incredibly disturbing. Really creative and kind of hard to wrap my mind around how they were able to use the camera in a lot of ways in that movie. But a real creative use of it that I really enjoyed. Anguish, haven't seen that. A Page of Madness. To me, that's an A tier movie. That's an A tier movie. That's a 1920s experimental Japanese horror film that you would think is something out of a David Lynch movie. Like you can tell. I mean, I don't know if David Lynch was inspired by this movie, but like the surreal attitude and this just like the way that he overlays images on top of each other and creates this like nightmarish experience. I think it reminded me a lot of David Lynch. But A Page of Madness is definitely one that that I highly recommend for sure. It's I don't even know how that doesn't have a Criterion release yet. It definitely demands one. All right, Carnival. Okay, Anguish. I forgot to put that here. Carnival of Souls. Man, I've heard that movie. Have not seen it. Cat People. I saw that movie back in film school, and I'm not really that huge on Cat People. I'll put it at a B because I do think that again one of those classic horror movies where like the influence that it had for the genre and just for film in general is hard to deny, and you have to value that. So, but I still like that movie. I like it. I'm just not in love with it, but I think it still deserves to be in B tier at least. Cure. That is a fantastic movie. A tier. Got a lot of A tiers. Again, maybe this one isn't going to be as critical as some of my other ones because I do love the horror genre. But Cure, wow. The Kiyoshi Kurosawa film. And this is from the same director as Pulse, Cairo Pulse. I enjoyed Cure a whole lot better. I was actually kind of I didn't like Pulse that much, just to say that. But Cure is a great horror suspense thriller movie that has some horrifying moments and just a really incredible story to tell. So yeah, Cure is one I can't recommend enough. And I have a review on this. I have a review again on a lot of these movies I'm going to talk about tonight. I have reviews on them, so feel free to scope my channel and find them. Gamera 2, have not seen that. Dementia, have not seen that. Island of Lost Souls, have not seen that. A Quiet Place. You know what? I like A Quiet Place. That movie kind of gets shit on a lot, but I like it. I'm sorry. I'll put that in B tier. Black Christmas. Oh man, that's such a good movie. Oh, I love Black Christmas. I think I gotta put it in B tier though, because I don't think I put it. I don't think I could put it in this level. I can't put it in A tier. Um, but Black Christmas is like a really great slasher movie. It's one of the pioneers in the slasher genre. Um, Inspired John Carpenter's Halloween in a lot of ways, and it is just I really like people downplay the value of Black Christmas, but there's a lot of creativity going on in that movie, and uh, I definitely suggest you check it out. Beauty and the Beast. Oh yeah, I know that one. The classic Beauty and the Beast. I have not seen it. The Fall of the House of the Usher. I have not seen that. Faust. This is another 1920s movie that is great. I'll put it in the B column. Um, yeah, Faust is. It's like amazing what people were able to achieve with cinema back in the 1920s, um, and just creates this whole like otherworldly experience that I obviously I recommend. All right, up next we got Diabelle. This movie is incredible. But I don't think I could put it in A tier because I don't think I. Yeah, I'll put that in B tier because Diabelle is just a really, really entertaining, chaotic, like intentional mess of a movie. Um, Andrzej Zulawski, the same director as Possession and On the Silver Globe. I haven't seen On the Silver Globe yet, but Diabelle is actually my favorite. I actually prefer Diabelle over Possession, which I know is kind of crazy. But Diabelle is an insane movie. Like the physicality and the audacity of that movie is insane. But I don't think I love it as much to put it in the A tier. But Diabelle's definitely one you got to check out. Frankenstein. Nope. I haven't seen the original Frankenstein. I'm probably going to get shit for that. Hitchcock's Frenzy. I haven't seen that. Funny Games. That's an A tier movie to me. I'm sorry. The original Funny Games is A tier. That probably that's the one that's the original one. The Austrian one. That movie is like I watched that pretty early on. Well, I watched the American remake early on in my film discovery days, and then I like 3 4 years ago I watched the original, and the original is better in my opinion. It's much more visceral, feels much more raw, and again, it's a film where Mikael Haneke is just having so much fun. In a way, kind of insulting the audience on their love and desire for violence on film. But yeah, Funny Games. I love that movie a lot. I'm kind of disappointed that I just love everything so far. It might not make the video as interesting. Ganja and Hest. We had a whole Discord discussion on that, but I couldn't make it to that discussion, so I have to say I haven't seen Godzilla. I haven't seen the original Godzilla. Here come the dislikes in the comments. Gozu. I haven't seen that. Guilty of Romance. I have seen that. Honestly, that's a D tier for me. Sion Sono. That movie, he really tries so hard to like deliver a crazy roller coaster of a story, but his focus on trying to just give the audience a crazy story like detracts from the film so much in terms of engagement, in terms of believability, in terms of theme. It gets lost in the sauce, and I just don't think it's a very good movie overall. Phantom Carriage, have not seen that one. I've been meaning to for a long time. Shrinking Man, I've not seen it. Invasion of the Body Snatchers, this one's pretty good. Again, I'm not in love with it, so I'll put it in B tier. But obviously, like again, one of the classic ones, the impact is really hard to deny. If I'm going based on just pure like cultural impact, sure, it's A tier and S tier. But personally, like I like it, but I'm not like super in love with it. I Walked with a Zombie. Haven't seen that. Was this Invasion of the Body Snatchers again? Oh shit! Yeah, there's multiple ones, right? Shit, I don't even know which one I ranked earlier. um, let's just put this at haven't seen. Let's go with the I think the Howard Hawks one is the one I watched. I don't know if that's the one, but let's just say that one is the one. King Kong, the original King Kong. I have not seen it. I haven't seen the original King Kong or the original Godzilla, but I hear nothing but great things, especially for King Kong. Um, Kodako. All right, this is so good. I'm putting Kodako. Damn, you know what? I gotta put that in B tier. As much as I really, really loved that movie, I can't put it. I can't put it amongst these. Um, but let me just look over it real quick. Is there anything I would dock from A tier and swap or vice versa? I don't think so. No, let's just keep it the way it is. Look at all these haven't seen movies. I'm gonna get shit for it. Manhunter, is that the Michael Mann movie? I didn't see that one. Deep Red. Oh, Dario Argento. I've been so close of watching this movie on different occasions. I've recommended it in the Discord as a blind rec. Just hasn't won, so I haven't seen it. I've seen a few Dario Argentos, but not Deep Red. Little Otik. Haven't seen that. Eraserhead. Easy S tier. Easy S tier. One of my favorite horror films of all time, hands down. Not even a debate or discussion in my head. Um, that's a film that just really inspires me in the horror arena. What Lynch was able to accomplish with that movie with such a low budget and practical effects is just insane. That is a film. Again, it's hard for me to be unsettled, like truly unsettled with this like really like leaving me with this lingering sense of dread. That movie does that for me. That movie really does do that, and it has a lot of just wacky humor in it too, but still manages to make me feel incredibly unsettled. Um, The Unknown, haven't seen it. Dracula, haven't seen it. Bones and All. All right, this is where we're gonna get a little spicy. Bones and All is a D tier for me. I know a lot of people loved Bones and All, but I'm sorry, that movie was just the movie was mid for me. Um, I mean, a lot of it just came off like a classic cliche teenage love story romance movie, except that there's cannibalism in the mix. But other than that, I really didn't find it to be all that special. So, D tier for me. Tales from the Hood. Have not seen that. Shamefully. Nope is good. I put Nope in the B tier. Under the Blossoming Cherry Trees. I've not seen it. Vampires. Haven't seen that movie. Oh, The Descent. Yeah, I'm gonna get a little spite. Oh man, it's gonna get me dislikes. I don't want to do this, but I have to do it. The Descent. I'm sorry. Mm, you know what? I'll put The Descent in C tier. I'll put it in C tier because even though I walked out of that movie not really liking it, that movie when it comes to just like straight horror and suspense, I think it does do a really good job in that arena. So I would be kind of unfair to put that down any more. I would be unfair to put that below C. So I think it at least deserves C. My problem with The Descent was just I didn't give a shit about anything that was happening. I didn't care about the fucking characters. I thought the character writing was terrible. I thought the story was terrible. Dialogue was terrible. So and maybe not really give a shit, but in terms of just outright horror, I think it has value there. So I'll be fair and put that in C tier. Let the Right One In. That's an A movie. A. That is that might be the best vampire film that I've ever seen in my whole life. That is such a wonderful movie. I haven't seen it in such a long time, but it has stuck with me and really made an impression with me. The atmosphere, the direction, the acting, the storytelling, all of just really exceeds. I can't recommend Let the Right One In enough. Possessor. Oh, I love Possessor. I love Possessor. I'll put that in B column though for now. But I love Possessor. Brandon Cronenberg movie. That's my favorite Brandon Cronenberg movie so far that he's made. Um, really great stuff. Reanimator. I don't think I've seen Reanimator. Oh wait, I have. I have. I put that in. I don't think I could put that in B. You know what? I will put that in B because that movie was really fun. It's just on a lower B. I can't put that. I can't put that in C in good conscience. But Reanimator was a that movie was a good time. Um, I don't remember like all that much about it. I just remember that like the fucking practical effects, the humor, all of that really worked. So yeah, I'll put that in B for now. Lower grade B, but still a B. The Third Part of the Night, Andrei Zulawski. Haven't seen that one. Seance. Haven't seen that one. Stoker. Haven't seen that one. Don't Let the River Beast Get You. Haven't seen that one or heard of it. Climax. Let's put that in S tier. Boom. Gaspar Noé just fucking goes all in on that movie. Was able to somehow direct the hell out of a movie that had like a paper thin script, but still manages to deliver one hell of an experience. Unforgettable. I watched that movie like 4 times in the theater and I don't regret it. The use of music, lighting throughout the film is seamless and stunning and very suspenseful, and I just love the fuck out of that movie to death. It is so good. The Skin I Live In. I really like this movie. I put that A tier personally. That movie I thought gave me one like the storytelling in that movie is pretty incredible. The twists and turns that movie takes, thematically, it's really interesting. The route that it goes, yeah, I like The Skin I Live In a lot. Uh, Pedro Pedro Almodovar, my favorite film that he's made. I need to see more of his movies though, but he can be kind of hit or miss for me sometimes. So we'll see. Anyway, Mad Love, haven't seen that. A Girl Walks Home Alone at Night. This is a movie that I watched forever ago. Honestly, I'm probably gonna put that in C tier because I remember when I watched it, I thought it was okay, but I wasn't really huge on it. Um, I mean, it's very artful. It takes a lot of liberties, but I just really couldn't get into it. But it's been a long time since I've seen that movie, so that's one I have to revisit. I blind bought it actually for actually no Jen blind bought that for me like 8 years ago, and I mean I didn't end up liking it all that much, but the actual Blu-ray of it's pretty cool. The Suspiria remake. I think I'll put that in B. I'll put that in lower B. I remember when it came out, I was really huge on it, but it's just kind of gone down in my mind. But it is a good movie for sure. I mean, it's a good movie. Um, Luca Guadagnino. I mean, it's better than Bones and All. um, yeah, and the ending just fucking crazy. Like this fucking blood splatter mess of a movie that a third act that I really liked. Green Room. That's a good movie. I'll put that in B. Get Out. God, I don't want to rank Get Out, man. Don't make me do it. Um, oh, this is gonna give me so much shit. For now. I'll put Get Out in C tier. All right. I watched this movie when it came out, and I did not understand why people love that movie so much. I thought like it had its moments, but I found it really predictable. I thought it fell into kind of shameless stereotypes. Um, I don't know. I didn't vibe with that movie. I didn't think it was all that impressive. Like sure for like a first film, I think he was able to make something that was kind of cool, but overall that movie for a while I was talking about how overrated I thought that movie was, and I haven't rewatched it since. So one of these days I'll rewatch it. Maybe I'll feel differently, but right now I don't know. I'm just not a fan of Get Out. I'm sorry. Opera's good. Put that in B. See, that's an Argento film that I have seen, and that one did not disappoint. I get like Argento just has an incredible way of using the camera and lighting, and that film is no exception. Ginger Snaps. I like Ginger Snaps a lot. Put that in B tier. Ginger Snaps. We had a movie night for that. I watched that with the Discord, and that was surprisingly just a super entertaining 2000s horror movie. Like it, and with a really fun use of practical effects that I really admired. Um, I don't know if people are gonna be with me on that one, but I like Ginger Snaps, and I kind of have a soft spot for like 2000s movies. So there's that. Demonia, have not seen that. The Other Side of the Underneath, have not seen that. Ooh, Jaws, I gotta put that. I'll put Jaws S tier, man. It's just wrong not to put Jaws S tier. um, Again, like I said, Jaws is not a movie that I watch regularly, but it's a movie that whenever I do watch it, I love it. And if I love the movie and it has so much cultural impact the way that it has, I mean, fuck it, that's got to go S tier. Now my favorite Spielberg movie is Jurassic Park, and that technically is, I mean, it's not an outright horror movie, but you can consider that enough of a horror to maybe put that in this list. That Jurassic Park is my favorite Spielberg movie. That is like undeniably S tier for me. In the Glass Cage, have not seen it. Blood and Black Lace, have not seen it. Encounter of the Spooky Kind, have not seen that. Alfred Hitchcock's The Birds. I might get shit for this, but I think that's kind of C tier. I think like for the time, The Birds was probably something crazy, but I'm not sure if that's something that really became all that timeless. I've seen it like 3 or 4 times, and I think it's like fine, but I don't know. The Birds just doesn't really do much for me. Nosferatu, the classic one. Love that movie. We'll put that at A tier. I can't wait for Robert Eggers' Nosferatu soon. Coming out soon. Well, I mean, in a few months, but still soon. Um, yeah. Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. Have not seen that one, even though I've heard so much about it. Gemini. I don't think that sounds so familiar. And I'm not talking about the Will Smith movie, but I don't think I've seen that. Gollum. I've heard about that movie and I've been wanting to see it, but I've not seen it. The Host. One of the only Bong Joon-ho movies that I have not seen, so sorry. Tetsuo the Iron Man. Let's do this. S tier for Tetsuo the Iron Man. Tetsuo the Iron Man reminds me a lot of Eraserhead, except Tetsuo the Iron Man, I would actually argue, is even more batshit insane. um, I can't stress you how much I love this. You know what? I'll show you how much I love this movie. It's my phone case. Tetsuo the Iron Man. Just really, really love this movie so much. Um, Again, a movie that was somehow made on a low budget and through, again, like not only the crazy use of practical effects, but the use of stop motion in this movie is astronomical. Like, I can't even imagine trying to accomplish the stop motion that he did in this movie, especially in the third act. Um, just a super wild movie about, really, it's just about like the horrifying, like, uh, industrialization of mankind. And it's wonderful. I love that movie to tears. Jigoku, I've heard of it, not seen it. The Funny Games remake. Okay, now I told you that I wasn't the biggest fan of. I mean, not the biggest fan, but that I like the original more than it. So I'll put the American remake of Funny Games in B tier. I mean, it's made by the same filmmaker, Mikhail Haneke. Um, but I just like the color grading of the original more, and I like the performances in the original more. So yeah, but the American version is still a good movie. Shaun of the Dead, that's S tier for me. Shaun of the Dead, S tier. Favorite of the Cornetto trilogy. I've seen that movie an ungodly amount of times. We just had a movie night for it the other day, actually. And it's just so fucking entertaining every single time. It doesn't matter how many times I've seen it. I have such a blast with it. I laugh at it constantly. The humor in it just so witty and clever and stupid and energetic. And I just can't get enough of it. The character writing, the dynamics, all just perfect to me. S tier. Shaun of the Dead is S tier. Lunacy, heard of it? Have not seen it. The Boxer's Omen, have not seen it. Awakening of the Beast, Coffin Joe, I've not seen that. Mr. Vampire, I've not seen it. House is B. I know it probably gets shit for that. I know some people consider House to be A and S tier. But I kind of appreciate and admire House more than I actually enjoy it. Like, obviously, just the fact that this movie exists is insane. Because stylistically, it's on crack. But, like, I'm not super in love with it. But House is undeniably, again, just like a really creative horror film. I don't know, has a lot to offer. It's a great, like, group movie watch. Like, if you just have a bunch of friends who you want to show them something fucking crazy that they've never seen before, show them that movie. All right, now we got Train to Busan. I just watched this movie 2 days ago, and I'm so glad I did because I love this movie. Train to Busan is incredible. And, I thought for the longest time that Train to Busan was kind of like this dumb, fun zombie apocalypse movie. But like, don't get me wrong, like a really good one because I heard it was great. But there's so much heart in that movie. I mean, it got me emotional, and I think like the writing between, the main character and his daughter, and even like the other male character and his pregnant wife, and the dynamic that they all share together as a group, really great character writing and storytelling. And obviously the zombie action's just fucking crazy too. So yeah, I don't know. Train to Busan's a fantastic movie. That movie definitely lives up to the hype. I'm glad I watched it before making this video. Look at all these haven't seen. There's so many. Carrie, classic. Let's put that in A tier. Well, should I put it in A tier? I like the movie a lot, but is it A tier? Nah, it's A tier. Fuck it. It deserves it. Angel Dust. Not seen that or heard of that. Oh, Pulse. I was just talking about this movie. I could put that in D tier. Sorry. Pulse has one, not just one, but there is one scene in that movie that is objectively fucking disgustingly nightmare inducing. um, but other than that, like there's some moments in it that are good, but not for me. The ending kind of ruins the movie. Like the whole like the last 15 20 minutes of the movie, just it's doing too much, man. It's just doing too much. It gets just gets really silly, and I just kind of checked out. Inland Empire, David Lynch. Let's put that. Oh man, you know what? Let's put that in A tier. I'm feeling pretty generous on that movie because that Inland Empire in terms of horror, it's just it's bananas. I mean, and that kind of goes without saying when it comes to David Lynch. But that's a 3 hour surreal nightmare experience. That again, don't try to make sense of it. Really, just watch it for what it is, and it really evokes a lot from you. And I think I think it deserves to be an A tier just because of its sheer audacity, and because in terms of horror, I think it's very effective. Empire of the Passions, haven't seen that. The Skeleton of Mrs. Morales, haven't seen that. Dreadnought, haven't seen that. Ooh, Texas Chainsaw. We get to add another film to the S tier category. Yeah, that is also one of my favorite horror films ever made. It's just again such a authentic grindhouse feel. I remember that movie that there's that scene where they first walk into when that one character walks into that house and hears that pig squealing noise and gets his face fucking clocked with a hammer or whatever that was. That and he's like shaking all over the place. That scene alone traumatized me for years when I was a kid. Definitely shouldn't have watched that as a kid, but that shit fucking just fucked with me. So, yeah, Texas Chainsaw, so good. Careful, haven't seen it. Raw. Raw's gonna go in C tier. I don't think so far I'm not the biggest fan of Julia Ducournau. I admire her audacity. I admire like what she is trying to do with a lot of the body horror stuff. But most of it comes off more fun and goofy than it does like feel like genuine or mature or sincere. So I mean, I like Raw, but not that much. So I'll put it in C tier. Oh, Thirst. Thirst is a really good movie. I think I'll put Thirst in B tier though. But it was a great. That's another great vampire movie with its own angle and its own twists. Park Chan Wook film. Haven't seen that in a bit, but Thirst is definitely one worth watching. Ooh, The Witch, The Vavitch. Yeah, that's a easy S tier for me. I've talked my head off about The Witch a billion times already, but what can I say? Atmospherically brilliant, masterful, sensational. Anya Taylor-Joy's like breakout role, incredible. All the acting in that movie is incredible. Especially that little boy in that one scene, incredible. Yeah, masterful in every way, engrossing in every way. Ending also just chilling, bone chilling. Love that movie to death. Love it, love it, love it. I'm gonna watch it again at some point. I mean, I watched it like a few months ago, but I'm gonna watch it again. Oh, The Orphanage. This is on the top 250. That's kind of cool. I like The Orphanage personally. I put that B tier. I know that might be a little divisive, but I watched that movie in theaters when it came out. I was young. I watched that in theaters. And The Orphanage was just a really like interesting Spanish like thriller horror film. I liked the way the mystery unraveled at the end, and I thought like it had a really good ending, a really good conclusion to its horror mystery. So yeah, The Orphanage is a good movie. I recommend it personally. The Addiction, haven't seen it. Ooh, The Lost Boys. Man, I need to see this movie. I've not seen it. What does that say? Dr. Phoebe's? Dr. Phibes? Whatever it is, I have not seen that movie. The Happiness of the Katakuris. I love The Happiness of the Katakuris. That is such... Oh man, what an entertaining fucking movie that is. Look there, that's a musical right there. I just in my Joker 2 review, I talked about how I don't really like musicals, but that is actually a musical that I really enjoyed, and I think it's because it's very self-aware and comedic and satirical. But it's a ridiculous movie that I just found super entertaining. So I got to put that in the B column. I really enjoyed it. Oh, Evil Dead 2. Fuck, man. What an amazing movie. Evil Dead 2's S tier. Fuck it. It deserves to be an S tier. What Sam Raimi did with that movie is, again, just such an accomplishment. And super influential in its own way in terms of like just outright unfiltered camp horror. Bruce Campbell again, iconic as hell. Yeah, Evil Dead 2 S tier, man. Fuck it. Oh, Dawn of the Dead. I classic that I have not seen. Ouchie, that hurts. Twin Peaks, Fire Walk with Me. I only have not seen that because I haven't finished the show. I'm on season 2 and I stopped for a long time for really no good reason and I haven't finished it yet. So, I'll maybe that'll be a goal for me this month, for the month of October this year. Maybe I should just say screw it and finish Twin Peaks and then watch Fire Walk with Me because I hear nothing but like amazing things about Fire Walk with Me. Repulsion, Roman Polanski movie. You know, I'll put that in B tier. I have a review for that. I did it forever ago. It's I think it's a pretty good movie, but I'm not in love with it. But it's not. It doesn't deserve to be in C tier, so it's like lower B tier. Like just imagine, like it's on the upper end of C, lower B kind of thing. Um, all right, Ingmar Bergman's Hour of the Wolf. That is a great movie. Put that in B tier. Um, Bone Tomahawk. That's a crazy ass movie. I put that in B tier too. Um, that's what's the filmmaker's name? Uh, it's like Craig. Is it S? What's his name? Zoller. I know his last name is Zoller. It's like Craig S. Zoller or something like that. I forgot. Um, yeah, I think Bone Tomahawk might. No, it's not my favorite. I think Dragged Across Concrete is my favorite Zoller movie, but Bone Tomahawk is his most brutal to me. Like, and it's hard to say because all his movies are brutal, but Bone Tomahawk was relentless there, especially with the shit we see in the end. Um, by the way, no F tiers yet. No movie that I would just straight call it F. Even the ones I don't like, I like Pulse and Bones and All, Guilty of Romance. They're not horrible for me to say F. So we'll see. The original Wicker Man, we'll put that. I don't know. Honestly, I wasn't that huge on the Wicker Man. Like I liked it. I'll put it in B, but again, like lower B. Again, I think it's very influential. Has a lot of great moments, but overall, like I was like that was good, but like not in love with it. Oh, Midsommar, love that movie. I can't. A movie that was inspired by The Wicker Man, but I enjoyed Midsommar more. Um, yeah, I gotta put Midsommar A tier. I'm sorry. I watched that movie like 3 or 4 times in theaters, and I just can't get enough of it. And whenever I get a chance, I always like to show off my A24 release for it. Just so fucking beautiful. But yeah, I know I know I'm probably gonna get shit for putting The Wicker Man below Midsummer, but whatever. Um, what the fuck is that? Mama, what the? I don't know what that is. Let's find out what that is so I can say it properly. Oh, Mother Joan of Angels, Madre Juana dos Anjos. I never heard of that movie. Interesting. If anybody has seen that movie, let me know if that's worth watching. This looks interesting. Um, what is this? Hush, Hush, Sweet Charlotte. Never heard of that movie. The Spiral Staircase. Have not seen it. The Innocents. Wait, is this the original one? Oh, this is the 2021 version. I've not seen that movie. I've seen the original one. Hopefully, the original one's in here. I'm gonna be pissed. Um, Phantom of the Opera. I've not seen it. Ooh, The House that Jack Built. Love that movie to death. A tier. Yes, it's Lars von Trier just jacking himself off the whole time, but he can do that, and I don't mind. I really don't. It was such an experience. Got so much out of it, and yeah, just really, really incredible movie in my opinion. Don't Look Now, wonderful movie. I put that in high B grade tier. Like near a A. I don't think I could put it in the A column, but it's high grade B. Titan. I'm gonna put that in the same grade as Raw. I know. I'm sorry. I know I'm gonna get shit for that too because a lot of people love Titan, but I like her. Like I like them. I just I'm not huge on them, man. Okay, here we go. The original Innocence. This is what I was looking for here. Honestly, that deserves an A. I remember really liking that movie. I mean, it has been a while, so I mean, I don't know. Maybe my mind will change on that. But from what I remember, that movie just has a. I mean, it's basically just like a psychological character study, um, and has like this very like ambiguous way of telling its haunted house type of story that I really admired and really dug. The atmospheric, it's fantastic. I talked a little bit about that in my recent review for the others, which if you want to check out that review, please go ahead. The Thing. Okay, this is a pretty easy decision, S tier. I'm not gonna throw anybody a curveball with The Thing. That would be ridiculous. The Thing to me is John Carpenter's best movie. Yes, I would put that over Halloween, which is a spoiler alert, but yes, I would. Um, Images. Haven't heard of that or seen it. Oh, is this Bram Stoker's Dracula? Bram Stoker's Dracula. I really enjoyed that movie. That's another like divisive one, but that's gonna go in the B grade column for me. That's in the B column. What a visually stunning and just wild interpretation of Dracula. I thought that was just an absolute blast. Yeah, it's not a perfect movie. It's got issues, but damn, that movie is just filled with insane, unhinged performances and a style that is just relentless that I really liked. Has this very like grandiose, epic like way of presenting itself that I thought was really good. Dante's Inferno, haven't seen it. Videodrome, Cronenberg. Honestly, I'm probably gonna get shit for this, but you know what? No, I'll put Videodrome lower grade B. It doesn't deserve to be in C tier because I did enjoy that movie. I enjoyed that movie too much to put it in the C column, but I do think that it has more. I have a lot of more issues with Videodrome than most people. Um, just thought there's like moments in it that feel stale and there's too much like too many character interactions in the movie that I just don't care about that last for way too long. But Videodrome has a lot going for it. Too much going for it that I can't put it in the C column. Cold Fish, another Sion Sono movie that I haven't seen. Return of the Living Dead, haven't seen. Vampire Hunter, haven't seen. Hunchback of Notre Dame, the original, haven't seen. Frankenstein, haven't seen. Nightmare on Elm Street, let's put that in B tier. Obviously, the influence is crazy, cultural impact's crazy, and even the concept itself is amazing. Um, but I'm not in love with it enough to put it in A tier. But it's still like it's still a Spooktober essential. Halloween, that's gonna go in A tier. I'll probably get a bunch of shit just for putting Halloween in A tier. Most people consider that to be S tier. Um, but I'm not as in love with Halloween as most people are. But I do love that movie. I love it. November. This is a movie that I was like one of the only ones that actually enjoyed this movie. I watched it in the Discord yet again, and a lot of people came out of this movie talking a lot of shit about it. But I actually enjoyed November personally. I thought it was a pretty damn good movie. So I put that in B tier. Ooh, Black Swan. I love Black Swan. A tier. I know there's a lot of people that fucking hate Darren Aronofsky and everything that he makes, but Black Swan to me was a pretty damn incredible psychological horror thriller movie with incredible performances. And yeah, I'm sorry, but that movie's really great. The original Evil Dead. Yeah, let's put that in A tier. I mean, come on. That movie deserves to be in A tier. That movie, again, what Sam Raimi was able to do with that is just fucking bananas. Oh, The Fly. I love The Fly so much. Oh, shit. I'm putting The Fly S tier. Fuck it. It deserves that. The Fly is such a... That movie just... It evoked such a visceral emotion out of me. I watched it when I was younger, and that movie stuck with me for God knows how long. And really until today. Like that movie just stapled itself into my psyche in a very traumatizing way. But yet in a way that really made me appreciate the art of cinema as well. because I was just like, what the fuck? Like, this is at like this is something that this is something that somebody made and people watched and were just like okay with it existing. Like it was just wild to me, and it still holds up. Jeff Goldblum's crazy. I mean, the practical effects insane. Stuff like just a disgusting like body horror transformative movie that I don't know. I love The Fly. I know it's a kind of a like an NPC pick, as some people like to say, but I'm sorry, The Fly is incredible movie. Incredible. All right. Army of Darkness. Let's put that in B tier. I enjoyed that movie a lot. That's the third Evil Dead movie, technically. And I enjoyed it quite a bit. The Wailing. You know what? I think The Wailing deserves to be an A tier because that movie's just crazy. Just has a it's a Korean horror thriller movie that just has just insane storytelling to it. I mean, just so much information, so much build up. Atmosphere is really great. Yeah, a crazy ending. Um, I think if you're into like again, like if you love supernatural horror, you love like a just you love movies that have like a big story to tell. The Wailing is something you're gonna really like. Tucker and Dale versus Evil, haven't seen it. Blind Beast, haven't seen it. Retribution, haven't seen it. Rocky Horror. How's that a horror movie? I guess it's a horror movie. Rocky Horror Picture Show. Time to get all the dislikes from all the theater kids. C tier for me. I mean, look, there was a point in time where I would just give this movie an F straight up. I'll put it right here with like no shame in my heart at all. Um, but you know, after watching it as a grown adult, I think it's at least a C. Um, I think I just kind of allowed like the fan base for it to like get in the way of like me actually, you know, appreciating the movie for what it is. Um, but either way, like it's still not my kind of movie, but it's not a terrible movie. Alien, yeah, that's S tier. Just no thought in my mind. How can you not put Alien in S tier? How can you not put Alien in S tier? Like, come on. Okay, I haven't seen that. Martin the Blood Lover. I haven't seen that. Tenebra. That's one I've heard of. I've not seen it. The Fan. Have not seen it. Hereditary. Fuck yeah. Let's put that in. You know, let's go S tier with Hereditary. Again, probably a lot of people call me normie or something for that. I'm sorry. Hereditary, I think is that like again. I think in like 15 years, 10 or 15 years, people are gonna see like how influential this movie has been, and in its own right, it's qualitative as hell. Like there's so much this movie offers. I can't remember the last time I've been as petrified by a movie than what Hereditary made me feel. I was just like just glued to my seat, not even wanting to move. What an experience that was. The Man Who Laughs, haven't seen that. Black Sunday, haven't seen it. Celia, Child of Terror, haven't seen it. Ooh, In the Mouth of Madness. Oh shit, man. I don't want to do this. John Carpenter's In the Mouth of Madness. I'm sorry. I think that movie was an F. I did not like that movie. It's the first F on this list. In the Mouth of Madness was such a disappointing, corny ass movie that I don't feel like offered really much of anything. I don't know if I have any more to say about it besides that. I just remember it being really underwhelming and really just goofy and coming out of that feeling like I wasted my time. And there's huge fans of that out there, but I think that's the weakest John Carpenter film that I've seen, obviously. Yeah, not a fan of In the Mouth of Madness. I apologize. Itchy the Killer. Honestly, I didn't really like it that much either. But I'll give it a C. Because it has a lot of entertainment value. It's just a fucking... I've been saying the movie a lot, but that movie is just crazy too. Like, it's just relentless with the type of content it offers. But it's also just really fucking stupid. The original Candyman. I think that deserves a B. I got a lot out of that movie. Shin Godzilla. I haven't seen it. Seconds. Oh man, I really need to see Seconds. I've been dying to see that movie. Have not seen it. Oh, One Cut of the Dead. I love this movie to death. A tier. That's a movie that if you haven't seen it, you really have to watch One Cut of the Dead. That is a movie that like the first the first 30 minutes of this or 20 minutes, however long it is, I was like, this is the worst movie I've ever seen in my life. And then just it just flips everything on its head, and then everything it does afterwards. I was just like, this is incredible. This is incredible stuff. I really admired what this film was able to do and appreciated the experience that it gave to its audience. So, yeah, One Cut of the Dead is that's a movie that you have to watch. That is a fantastic movie. 28 Days Later, I'll put that in B tier. I'm not super in love with it, but it is a really good movie. Arrebato. Anybody heard of that movie? If you have, let me know what you think about it. Le Main de Diable. Have not heard that. Ooh, Dead Alive. That's S tier. Brain Dead or Dead Alive from Peter Jackson. S tier. One of the most bloodiest and campiest and hilarious horror movies I've ever seen in my entire life. I think it actually broke the record for the most blood present in a horror movie. um, yeah, I mean, I talked my head off about that movie already, like in a lot of different videos, but that movie is just a riot from start to finish. Just a perfect examination, like a master class in just like have fun, turn your brain off, B grade horror. Love that movie to death. Martyrs, excellent film. Fucked up movie, but it is excellent. A tier for Martyrs. Yeah, that movie really, really leaves an impression on you. And yeah, again, proceed with caution when it comes to Martyrs, because that movie definitely pushes boundaries and in terms of how much like violence and torture you can bear. But Martyrs is incredible movie, incredible. A tier. Dead of Night, have not seen it. Oh, Dead Ringers is a great movie. Yeah, I really, really like Dead Ringers. Jeremy Irons gives an incredible performance in this movie. He has to play twins, and again, that's not an easy task. And he absolutely kills it. Very unsettling. All kind of like a character study movie, honestly, but it's very off-putting, really unsettling, with an incredible performance from Jeremy Irons, with also a fantastic ending. It's been a while since I've seen that movie, but again, it really left an impression on me. The Exorcist. Yes, yes, yes. Let's put that. I mean, we got to put The Exorcist in A tier, right? Like at least A tier. I haven't seen. I don't watch the movie regularly, but I mean, it's hard to deny the value of that movie, and I like it. Like I genuinely do think it's a really good movie. So let's put that in A tier. Long Walk. Haven't seen it. Black Sabbath. I haven't seen it. Oh, Little Shop of Horrors. Haven't seen that. The Bird and the Crystal Plumage. Oh man, I've heard a lot about that movie. Haven't seen it. Seventh Curse. Haven't seen it. American Werewolf in London. That is a good movie. I put it in B tier. I reviewed that movie a while back, and it is that's another like Spooktober essential, honestly. Curse of the Demon. Haven't seen it. The Hitcher. Is that what it is? Hitchhiker. Haven't seen it. Oh, Mad God's pretty good. I put. Oh, you know what? I don't know. I'll put it in B tier just because of the hard work, just because of all the hard work that was put into that movie. And there's plenty of there's plenty of like value in this movie, and it's vile as hell. Like there's so much nightmare-inducing shit in this movie. There's so much disgusting shit in this movie that is again vile as hell. Um, and even though like I wasn't in love with this movie, I gotta put it in B tier just because of not only the audacity of it, but just because of like the craft that went into it. So yeah, I'll put Mad God in B tier. Why not? Singapore Sling, haven't seen it. Oh, Peeping Tom, I haven't seen this movie, but shout out to Jada. This was one of her. This is her $50 Patreon request for this month. So I'm gonna be watching and reviewing that at some point this month. I'm really excited for that. I Saw the Devil. Let's go ahead and put that in A tier real quick. When it comes to revenge thriller horrors, that is arguably the best one. I mean, I don't know if I would say go that far, but it's definitely up like top 5 or something. Yeah. And another Godzilla movie, haven't seen it. Oh, The Lighthouse. I'll put Lighthouse A tier, which is crazy because I know most people will put Lighthouse S tier. But I think I need to watch that movie one more time before really deciding something like this. But for now, I'll put it in A tier. But I mean, it's incredible. What am I supposed to say? Whatever Happened to Baby Jane? Haven't seen it. Morgiana? Haven't seen it. Oh, the original Omen. I've seen this movie, but it's been way too long. I watched the movie when I was like 12, and I haven't rewatched it. So let's just put that and haven't seen. Angel Heart. I've not seen that. Bedeviled. Haven't seen that. Oh, Altered States. Ken Russell movie. The same director from The Devils. I have not seen that. I don't know why I haven't seen that fucking movie yet. Oh, Jacob's Ladder. That's a classic that I have not seen. Here we go again. Gonna have a bunch of comments talking about why are you ranking movies? You haven't even seen it. Well, it is what it is, bro. Record, whatever you want to say. That is a really great movie. I really like Wreck a lot. I don't think I'll put it in A though. I think I'll put Wreck at like really high B, like a B plus plus plus. Oh, The Ring. Was this the American one? No, that's a Japanese one. I haven't seen the Japanese one. Us. I'll also put that in C tier, honestly. But I actually liked Us a little bit more than Get Out from memory, which I know is blasphemy to a lot of people. Um, yeah, I don't have much more to say about that. Oh, The Brood is great movie. Brood is B. That movie, what an ending. The Brood has, like a lot of Cronenberg movies, what an ending. The Shining S tier. Either that, The Shining, don't want to spoil anything. I'll just say that it's arguably my favorite horror film of all time. Um, Everything about it to me is fucking pitch perfect. The performances, the 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 bone chilling atmosphere, the suspense, the cinematography, the score. My God, the score! One of the best scores I've ever heard for a horror movie. Incredible stuff. Um, yeah, I don't talk too much about The Shining because it's the fucking Shining. But yeah, I am a huge fan of The Shining. Let's just say that. All right, Phantom of the Paradise. Is that what this is? Oh yeah, I like that movie. I like that movie. Let's put it in B tier. That's a Brian De Palma film. The Hidden. I don't know what that is. Night of the Living Dead. I watched this once in film school, and for some reason I don't remember it. But I'll just put it in B tier for now, which I know is probably crazy. But I don't really remember much. I remember like some of the iconic stuff. But as a whole, I don't remember it. So, but for now, I'll put it in B tier. I hope that doesn't get me crucified. Oh, Nosferatu the Vampire. Honestly, I think that goes in high B tier. I don't think it's enough to give it an A, but it's like again like a B plus plus. Oh shit, The Cremator. Yep, that is a S tier movie, guys. Like The Cremator again, such a slept on movie. That is such a slept on movie. If you are continuing to sleep on that movie, wake the fuck up and watch it, please. It is incredible. Everything about it so timeless. Thematically, aesthetically, everything. You got to watch it. It's so good. Eyes Without a Face, really great movie. Let's put that in A tier. I think that's a really really great movie. It's been a while since I've seen it, but I know that I love that movie. Clear Out, that looks interesting. I've not seen this movie. The Haunting, I've not seen it. The Tenant, ooh, you know what? The Tenant's gonna get an F. The Tenant is that's the Roman Polanski movie that he stars in. He directed and starred in it. And the movie was just a bore. I'm sorry. I didn't get anything out of that movie. I thought it was just a slog. And yeah, I don't know what else more to say except that it was just a really disappointing and boring movie. Gremlins. Gotta love it. Gotta love it. Gremlins is fucking A tier. I mean, come on. I mean, I think I like Gremlins 2 actually better than the first Gremlins, but I think they're both like A tier movies. I just such a fun, just a fun experience. Like, yeah, it's not the most sincere thing ever, but god damn it, like if you don't want to pop that in during every October, I don't know what the hell's wrong with you. Ooh, Scream. Okay, so Scream, disclaimer, is a movie that I have not seen in such a long time. I don't know why, but every time October comes around, I don't ever rewatch it. And it's been like 10 years since I've seen this movie. So I'm not going off the best memory, but I'll put it in B++. I'll put it in B++. A movie called Thesis. I've not heard of that movie. Oh, Andrew Zalowski's Possession. Let's put that lower B. I know that's kind of blasphemy for a lot of people, but I mean, there's a lot of value there. I admire Zalowski's, again, kind of like Diabel, like the audacity that he had with that movie. Just very like rough and experimental and just crazy, but I don't know. I don't know. I mean, it's there's some things about it that I feel like are just too choppy. Soundtrack score doesn't do much for me. It kind of takes me out. Um, and I don't know. There's just a good handful about that movie that I'm just on the fence about. So, but I admire him pushing boundaries with it for sure. Devil's Backbone, is that the Guillermo del Toro one? I I put that in as a C. Honestly, was kind of disappointed by it. I own the Criterion because I was like I blind bought it thinking like, oh, I'm gonna be in love with this, but it definitely felt like this was like this skeletal, less effective version of Pan's Labyrinth that he would make after this movie. Um, so yeah, I'm not the biggest fan of the Devil's Backbone. It's fine. It's an okay movie, but I'm not huge on it. Day of the Dead, haven't seen it. Oni Baba. Okay, Oni Baba. We're gonna put that in A tier. That is fantastic movie. And honestly, that's not even really horror. That movie gets marketed so much as horror, but it's really not. Like, I mean, sure, there's elements, I guess, of it, but it's really just like a dark drama about sexual repression. That's what the movie is. But in terms of horror, there's not much there. But whatever. It's an incredible movie. Who Can Kill a Child? Have not heard of that or seen it. A Tale of Two Sisters. That is one I gotta see. I heard so much about that movie. Don't torture a duckling. It's another one I've not seen. Noroi the Curse. Man, I've been blind wrecking Noroi the Curse for so. I just blind wrecked that last week, and nobody. I mean, they vote for it, but it doesn't win. I just need to say screw and watch it on my own, or I'll blind wreck it one more time, and if it wins, awesome. If not, whatever. But that's a movie I have not seen. I need to watch it. I heard a lot of great things. Pearl. I'll probably give Pearl a C, like a lower C tier. Wasn't that huge on Pearl. I mean, Mia Goth is incredible in it, obviously, but the movie itself, kind of meh on it. Phenomena, haven't seen it. Picture of Dorian Gray, haven't seen it. Kuroneko, that is a great, great movie. Let's put that in upper B. B++ is what I would give it. Japanese horror film. Kenito Shindo, fantastic filmmaker. I definitely recommend his other films like The Naked Island that doesn't get talked about nearly enough. Rosemary's Baby. Probably a hot take with this one, but Rosemary's Baby is like a B minus movie to me. Um, Obviously, again, you gotta appreciate the influence. Gotta appreciate like what it did during the time that it came out. I think the score is really good. That erratic like saxophone kind of thing was really cool. Conceptually, it's again so influential. Um, but there's just things about it I don't like. I actually don't even really like the ending. There's so much like forced exposition dialogue at the end. I mean, yeah, it's trying to present it in a creepy way, but I'm still like when I watch it, I'm just like, okay, this is just a nifty way to feed the audience so much. It's like a giant exposition dump at the end that I just don't like very much. I know that's blasphemy to say, but that's just how I feel about it. Love Massacre, haven't heard of it. La Ville Noël, have not seen that. Scooby Doo Zombie Island, I've actually seen this. Yeah, put that D tier. Let's put that D tier. Why not? It's not that bad, but not obviously not good. The Stepford Wives, haven't seen it. I've heard a lot about it. Strange Circus, haven't seen it. Original Suspiria. Mm, honestly, I'm not the biggest fan of this either. But I'll give it a B minus because the visuals, the lighting, the presentation of it is incredible. Again, it just has that problem where it's just like so much dialogue and like so much explaining, and you have a lot of dedicated scenes to just like explaining shit for what reason. Like, I don't know, this movie needed to be trimmed down, less dialogue, more of a visual. I mean, it is a visual audio experience, but it doesn't use it as necessarily a tool to convey information. It uses it more as a tool for like spectacle in a way. um but I'll give it a B. I'll put it a B minus minus because I don't think it deserves to be down here with all the C's. Talk to Me, I enjoyed it, but that's also like a B minus movie. It's got some really great things about it, but overall, like, I'm not as in love with it as other people are. Theater of Blood, I have not heard of that. The Bad Seed, I've not heard of that. The Bride of Frankenstein, I haven't seen that one. Oh, The Invisible Man, a huge blind spot of mine, I've not seen it. All the others, I just watched and reviewed this movie, actually. If you want to go check that out, go check out that review. I just put a review up for it yesterday. I'll give the others a B plus plus. The others is a fantastic movie, really really great. But I don't think I could put up there in the A's because I do have problems with it. Again with dialogue and stuff. But that movie has an incredible ending. The others, I mean, wow, what an ending. But yeah, let's move on. The Penalty, haven't seen it. Tigers Are Not Afraid. Tigers Are Not Afraid. It's a movie that I really need to see. I really need to see that movie. I've heard so much about it. Um, yeah. Tumbad. Have not heard or seen that. Demons. I've seen Demons. This is a really good movie. I put that in B, actually. It's been a while since I've seen that movie, but that movie is, again, has a lot of style, a lot of personality that I really, really admired. Pretty interesting story to tell, too, so put that in B tier. Poison for the fairies? Yeah, I think it says Poison for the Fairies. I've not heard of that. White Dog. I've heard about White Dog, but I haven't seen it. Oh, Hakusan, fun fact, is the first blind buy Criterion I ever bought. And I still have not seen the movie. But I'm finally going to be watching it in the next few days because it is it's one of the Discord members' wheel pick. To where the wheel lands on him, spins and lands on him. He gets to pick the movie that the group all has to watch and discuss, and we'll show up. Actually, I believe it's next Monday, I think, where we all show up in voice chat and we all just talk about it. So, um, I mean, I haven't seen it, but that is a movie that I'm really excited to see. It's like I think it's made in the 20s, like a kind of like a documentary on witchcraft and history of witches. I think that's what I know. But anyway, that's about it. So let's zoom out, see what we got here. Zoom way out. All right. All right. So this is what we got, ladies and gentlemen. This is what we got in S tier. We got Santa Sangre, The Wolf House, Eraserhead, Climax, Jaws, Tetsuo, Shaun of the Dead, The Texas Chainsaw Massacre, Evil Dead 2, The Vavitch, The Thing, The Fly, Alien, Hereditary, Dead Alive or Brain Dead, The Shining, and The Cremator. Those are my S tier picks. Um, and everything else is what it is. I'll scroll down a bit so you can see it. You have a little, bird's eye view of it. Seems like the only movies that got into F tier was The Tenant and In the Mouth of Madness. D tier, Bones and All, Guilty of Romance, Pulse, and Scooby-Doo, Zombie Island. But yeah, I mean, a lot of movies I haven't seen, but I think I've seen at least half of them or close to it. But yeah, get a good look at it. That's about it. Here's a good look at all the ones I haven't seen. Just to give a quick reminder. So again, I would like for y'all to comment. Again, the top priority film that I have not seen. Comment that in the comment section below. And I'll put it in a watch list and I'll figure out what to do with it. What's the next move? And again, if there's any of these movies that you desperately want me to watch and review, feel free to join the $50 patron tier and get your request immediately granted. But yeah, that's about it, guys. That was pretty extensive, but I had a blast doing it. Can't wait to see the hate comments. It's going to be so much fun. Can't wait to see the positive comments too. I love those. But that's it, man. Hope you guys really enjoyed this video. I look forward to the next tier ranking video. Also, feel free to comment down below what the next tier ranking topic should be. And shout out to I believe it was Ant-Man in the Discord who actually gave me the idea to do this. But yeah, that's it, guys. If you really enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up and share it amongst your friends. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel to be updated on more film-related content.